What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the Booty League podcast, and we're joined by none other than Royce. What's up,
What's
Royce?
up? What's up?
And Chris is here. Chris has materialized after being
Welcome back.
absent. What's up, Chris?
Not much. Busy with work stuff. My bad about last week. Leave me hanging.
I say he has to take a shot for missing the podcast last week, Royce. What do you think? What do you say? It was last minute.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm.
Audio 3.
Yeah.
Last minute, that was not my fault.
That's
I had to play with you.
And let the record show that I always have to be present because I have the recording devices on my, so I'm like not so it's always just up to my schedule is like the final call. Like I think you can record it in like audio form, or how do you guys? I know you've done a couple episodes without
audio
me.
form, and then last time I think Royce and I did it through Zoom.
Through Zoom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is Zoom,
FaceTime screen record.
is it? Yeah, that file's gonna be so massive. But all right, well, welcome back, Chris. Welcome, Royce. We'll hop right into our quick question. Well, before that, Royce, how's your week going, or how's your season going?
Well, I have as many wins as I have a will to live. So
Championships.
That's nice. As championships, yeah. So there's that.
True.
But if any history in this league has taught me, it ain't about the start; it's about the finish.
Okay.
So
That's true.
It's true.
That's true.
Whoever's yapping about 2 losses is whatever, dude.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, our quick question. It was a pretty bloody week last week, and it's only week 2, and it's only gonna get worse. So next year, how do you feel about drafting Arby's in the first round? Start off with Chris.
You had Eckler fall off, right? I think that's the only other.
We had
Eckler.
We had
Eckler, Chubb.
Well, Dobbins was like a second rounder too, I think.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor's been MIA.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's been out. It's been quite
Montgomery's
late though, but yeah. So I mean, if you talk about drafting RBs in the first round, I think it's still going to be there. Yeah, there'll still be that tier. I think Bijan will jump up there. I think Pollard at this.
But are you still drafting them in the front? Let's say front 4, front 5.
It's possible.
How many running backs are you gonna draft in the first 6 picks?
It's too early for that because I don't know how the rest of this year is gonna go.
Yeah.
But there's probably gonna be 1 or 2 in there. I would say there's always 1 or 2 in there for sure. Because there used to be like the first 6 used to be all running backs.
Yeah.
And I think it's went away from like a little more even, just to like the top 3 elite wide receivers and top 3 elite like running backs more or less.
I see. Okay. So you think Bijan's gonna be there? CMC's.
I think Bijan might be the 101 if he keeps it up low key.
Over Justin Jefferson with like no touchdowns.
Yeah, dude, Bijan's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he does.
It'll be there. It'll be there though.
He looks nice. He looks nice. Cutting out there. He does look. He just looks better than everyone else on the field, I would say, when watching him.
What do you think, David? Do you think? How do you feel about the running backs in the first round next year?
I mean, you could say that, but then also, you got Jamar Chase, you got Cooper Kupp, you got who else is like who are underperforming in the wide receivers we
Kelsey was out week 1.
Yeah,
early on.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are 2 pretty big ones. And then who's 5th? I forget who was like the.
You got AJ Brown also underperforming, but it's also like pretty early in the
Tyreek.
year.
Tyreek's not underperforming.
I mean, Tyreek's going off, but yeah. So like, it seems like the first few rounds has been pretty rough for almost everyone. So it's hard to say. Yeah. Okay. What about you, Royce? What do you think?
I'm pretty sure next year is going to be the same. I mean, this year is probably like the most committees I've ever seen in the league. And I don't know.
In the league, as in the NFL league.
No, yeah, in the league. Yeah. The most the most committees I've seen, and every team is like gravitating towards that. But like, you see the whole committee approach like backfiring on a lot of teams,
Like,
and like the Minnesota or like Cleveland now
wait,
and stuff like
Minnesota
that.
doesn't have a committee.
Or
They're
not
going
committee,
to.
but like not paying for like a premier running back and resorting to like someone who used to be in a
Oh,
committee to bring it up because it's like, running backs are just part of a system
so
or
you're
whatever.
saying teams in the NFL are making a mistake not paying for the running back?
I think so. And I mean, like, as running backs, like, I think next year is going to be the same, but like, I don't think this is like this whole trend is here to stay. I think once running backs start getting paid more, they're going to have to be utilized more. And then as running backs become more skilled coming out of college, every running back starting to know how to catch now, all that stuff, like there will be parity again.
I see.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's also, you don't want to pay them because their rookie contract's 4 years, but that just so coincides with the shelf life of a running
Mhm.
back too, So
Yeah.
there's also that, like, they're getting more and more expensive. So maybe like you can't get a Christian McCaffrey, but if you get two players, one guy that runs like Christian McCaffrey and one guy that catches like Christian McCaffrey, and you pay them like half, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's working. It's bad for fantasy and it's terrible to watch, but
True.
as a spectator, it just sucks to watch like these bums like just running out there, and then you see like Bijan, and then you're like, man, that guy is so good.
Yeah.
Like, just run through the hole, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All
I
right,
was
let's roll to.
yeah,
Oh, go
I
ahead.
was actually thinking, you guys tell me, but I've been thinking, like, why doesn't like running backs go through the same amount of like reading like the defense that the quarterback goes through, so they know exactly where like the leverage is and where the holes are? Is that like,
Oh, they're supposed to. They're supposed
they
to.
should know that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
they're supposed to. Like
Okay, they
they're
just
supposed to know
suck.
they're supposed to know blocking schemes and things like that. But
Yeah,
defenses do other things too. Like they stunt in a certain way. Like there's like run stunts, so it like messes up your holes. Um, and that's one downside to that. But you have an idea where you're going, and then it just doesn't happen
it's
sometimes.
mostly just reactionary with
Yeah, it is very reactionary. So a lot of like zone drills, like I do with running backs, were like very reactionary. Like you hit the line, and it's like you move your back a certain way, and they just have to find the hole.
Yeah, I see. Is there a first option, second option, third option for the running backs?
Usually,
Or is it just one option? If it's not there, then try not to
no,
get tackled for a loss.
there are multiple options. Depending on the scheme, there are multiple options.
I see. I see. Wow, I see. You learn something every day. Real life football. Crazy. All right, we can do the shot payouts now, Chris.
I got three. So shot payouts this week. I got three that I had to pay out because I missed the pod, but mine were from the E-Ship Bowl. I hate Michael. He can't keep up. He can't keep this up anymore. I think Timmy's on his way back. I didn't get to make a comment on that. David, more than 50 points in the host heads ahead. And Royce, you're paying up for also the E-Ship Bowl, right?
No, the David over under.
God damn it, David. And David is now a shot. And we have videos from Sofer and Nick. Unfortunately, we don't have videos from Timmy, Michael, and James. Michael's on vacation. James is sick. And then Timmy's a little bitch. So
Yep.
Yep.
Well. Like a
Yep.
moth to a flame.
All right.
All right.
While you guys get your shots in,
Yeah.
I will
Post some videos. All right, cheers. One.
All right.
get the videos pulled
My
up.
thing is 20%, so I'll just do two of them.
Royce is always swigging, bro.
It's easier to drink.
It's easier to drink because you're drinking less. That's why.
All right.
And cheese.
You tell me when to stop.
All right. Stop. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, it looks like you're. Yeah, there's.
Okay, and then for the podcast, I gotta switch to desktop. There you go.
While you're making this happen,
What is-
I don't know about this new Amsterdam. Is that pink lemonade? I think I had to Google it. I googled pink New Amsterdam.
Whoa, what's
and it's
going on?
it's only 30%. So a shot is of a spirit is a minimum 40% ABV. So just
You shortchanging us out here?
He is short. It's
Topher?
only 30%.
And then in the video, he was like, I don't know if this is a shot. I don't know if this is a
Hey,
shot.
And on top of that, I don't know what event this is, but this looks like drinking for
Oh,
fun.
this is they're going to Not Scary Farm. This is pre-gaming.
That sounds like drinking for fun.
Is
Yeah,
that
where's
even? So how much
where's
does he
Where's
owe?
our invite? Where's the Booty League outing? Not Scary
It
Farm.
was a it's a cast members preview.
That's pretty
And
cool.
Chris is an ex-cast member.
So that's his
Or
one
Topher.
shot. So
And he said he said I think he was like, oh, I drank it all. Look at that.
That's true. Look at that.
Oh
That's so
my.
true. And he has to take another shot, man, because it was only 30%.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do this. Nick's. I don't know what's going on with Nick's rendering, but this is the quality
It's what
you
he
get.
texted me, so
I guess it's really compressed in text.
yeah.
Okay, here we go. What is he drinking? Tequila?
Looks like tequila. Looks like Casamigos.
Oof.
Ugh. That's pretty fat.
All right, there you go.
Here's
All
one
right.
last one. Cheers.
Hey, Timmy. Look at my screen real quick. You see how easy that was that Chris just did? See how easy that was?
That's how man does it.
I
Timmy.
did it like a 2 out of 3. You seen James do his 7 in 1 cup? Like that's a man.
That's a man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
or that video that I sent in the sleeper of Timmy.
Yeah.
That's a man.
You guys have all done the multiple shots in that one.
Turning back, I have not done multiple shots. I can't do that. That's like too much. It's like too nasty.
I have a couple videos of me doing that.
Yeah, you've done it. I can't do it with Henny really. I think it's too heavy for me, but
yeah. I gotta do it with clears.
Yeah, James is a monster for that.
Oh yeah, James is a monster. He always, every time he has a 7-shot cup.
It's almost expected.
Pours in his mixer cup and he's just downs it real quick.
And here's the thing: it's all the sun's always out when he does
That's
it.
true.
And he's actually like, he looks like he's so bummed out that he has to do it. Like he hates life. Like he's pouring it, and it seems like he hates life.
Sometimes you got a 5 o'clock shadow going on, dude. Like, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Shot bets for this week are a Corova bar. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called.
Yes.
Some kind of bet between Royce and Vintuk for this week. Royce versus Vin. They're gonna take a bite of a Corova bar, if that's the right term.
Wait, is that a bet?
I don't know. Hey, Vin keeps saying, "Yo, let's do the whole Corova bar." I'm like, bet.
Wait, what is the bet though? Your
the
matchup?
Bet is just I'll win this week.
Oh my god!
I have the same record as him at the end of this week.
All right.
And then Timmy has interest, so he has 7 next week. He says he's gonna go. He says he's gonna do it this week, and we'll see what's up. Michael has 3, 2 plus 1, and James has 2. He has the optional guest head-to-head, so it's up to him if he wants to do 2 or 3. But yeah, those are. We haven't had shot bets last week, and then we don't have any set up this week yet. But keep your eyes peeled in the chat. Rolling into breaking news waiver wire. Yesterday was a pretty big day, right? Timmy going
today too. Actually,
not even that bad. Timmy's not even. It's not even that bad. He puts down 38 for Pierre Strong, 38 for Kareem Hunt, 5 total bids. The next closest was 14 by Nick, and 6 with Jonathan and Vintuk. Kansas City D, 2 bids. David 16 on Kansas City D.
I honestly
Topher put 1 on it, but I did not. But however, that does lead into one of our next bids because of that. Vin took 11 for Tony Jones.
Yeah.
2 bids. The next closest was Timmy for 2. Just to build on that Topher one, before I unveil the ones that came today, Topher must have been so tilted.
I know.
From KCD, he put 10 on Dolphins D and wasn't even contested. And then he also paired that up with Topher's bid on Skymore, 20, 0 total bids. And then Ryan put a bid on Matt Breida, 15 fab, 0 other bids. So thoughts on that, Royce? Go ahead.
What was that?
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
bro. Okay, so
Royce has
so
control over the soundboard. Did you do that yourself, Royce?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. He had that prepped. He had that prepped.
Yeah, I had that prepped. All right. So I think the Rooks missing out on the last couple waiver wire deadlines really had them amp it up, but like at the worst time because the waiver wire on like Wednesdays are not as spicy, or on Tuesdays are not as spicy as, or on
Wednesday.
Wednesdays not as spicy as Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And they're catching on kind of the value. I don't think they just know how to spend it. I mean, like 20 is around the range you'd spend for like, a plug and play wide receiver or like
Yeah.
plug and play running back for a week. Like that's acceptable.
That's
but, like,
exactly what Sky Moore is, dude. Come on.
bro, he's got the Charger stack. He doesn't need Sky Moore.
That's true.
but like I don't really think Chris is or Topher is gonna play Sky Moore, right? Like you're just gonna stash him on your bench. Like Ryan might play Matt Breida, yeah, and then 10 for Dolphins D when you're probably gonna drop him next week. Like, come on,
Yeah.
come on, Rooks.
Yeah.
Come on, Rook.
I mean, I think we are forgetting the big thing here, which is that Timmy spent $38
Oh, yeah,
uncontested on Pierre Strong. All right, I don't want
Bitches be
to.
shopping. That's
God,
fine.
dude.
I mean, I said when I saw that, I said, "Who?"
Dude, I thought he was on the Patriots still. So I was like looking
No
at it, I'm like,
shit.
why he
No
spent
shit.
what I missed, dude?
and then
What
and then let it be known that he spent $36 on Kareem Hunt, and Kareem Hunt hadn't been signed to a team yet. This was a
This is speculation.
This is a speculative ad, but you know,
He spent 37% on his fab on 2 backup running backs
for the same team.
for the same team.
From the same team, yeah.
I mean,
he handcuffed his handcuff.
I would have. I don't know. I might have. Maybe if I knew that Jerome Ford was off the waiver, maybe I would just save it for another type of running back.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like you could maybe even Matt Breida for 1 week, and then
Yeah.
like kind of bite your time, because Matt Breida went through uncontested. I would have picked him up if I had any space.
Yeah.
Definitely a great pickup by Ryan there. 15
Yeah.
bucks, you know,
Yeah.
15 bucks. For I'm surprised it went uncontested, but Matt Breida going for 15 bucks, I don't mind that too much.
Mhm.
Sky Moore going for 20, especially when he himself has the number one option on the Patriots in Travis Kelce, seems a bit rich for my taste.
Patriots, are you drunk already?
Or no,
dude?
sorry,
Jeez.
the Chiefs, bro. I'm drunk.
Okay, I'm like, what the fuck?
No,
Oh,
he already
that
has
banquet beer,
the
baby. Banquet beer. All right, see you.
yeah. He already has the number one pass catcher on. I think I wanted to say Patrick Mahomes, but
Yeah.
on the
the Patrick
Chiefs.
Mahomes.
Yeah, see, he already has it, so I probably wouldn't have. And Sky Moore's been on the
Yeah.
waiver wire for like 2 weeks now, so
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
I don't get that one.
Yeah, that one's a tough one.
Yeah.
Just to put in perspective, Timmy spent what 37% of his fab on running backs, and then Topher spent 12% on his fab on someone he's gonna drop next week and someone he's not gonna play. So a lot of money spent out there.
Yeah.
This week, like y'all said, women be shopping. What do you is there anyone you missed out on though? Anyone you wanted to get Royce?
Not really. I've been pretty quiet on the waiver wire. I
Okay.
was gonna put in a Kareem Hunt bid when I saw the news, but like it was gonna be like a $5
Okay.
bid or something.
You
like that.
weren't gonna get him.
Yeah.
David, anyone you were looking at?
No, not particularly, because you know last week I already picked up Jerome Ford, and I got pretty lucky on that. But I also picked up
Spicy. That was nice.
yeah,
Very
that was nice.
That was
And I
nice.
also
You
picked
working.
up Josh Reynolds, which was probably like, you know, one of the bigger wide
Yeah,
receiver ads
for sure.
also.
For sure.
I mean, there's that speculation about, you know, the Lions passing offense taking a step forward, so my reasoning was why not like take part of like that pie, the wide receiver 2 on that offense. Didn't seem
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
bad lotto ticket. So what I really wanted was Chiefs D for 16 fab. How I figured it is that maybe they'd be good for the next 3 weeks against Chicago, then they get the Jets, and then at Minnesota. But I think they get Chris Jones back, in Minnesota, or maybe
No, he was back last week.
Oh, he was
He's already
back
playing.
last
Yeah,
week?
he's already playing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so um the Chiefs defense, I think serviceable for 2, but I can like see how they
Stretch it to
perform.
3, maybe.
Stretch it
Yeah,
to 3 maybe. So that's why I
yeah,
wanted to spend up, because then, against the Jets is always like a good matchup to
yeah,
pick at. So yeah.
for sure. I really wanted Zach Ertz actually. I like his target share right now. Josh Dobbs looks serviceable, and then just getting like 4 points from receptions. He's getting like 8 targets. So I was looking at Zach Ertz because I'm not too happy with Kyle Pitts right now. That's the only other person I would like. So good job on Michael. I think he picked him up for 6 or so. So let's move into the trades this week. Royce, break this trade down. You received Drake London and Marvin Gaye and Charbonnet, and Jonathan received Brandon Cooks and Jamal Williams. How did this come to fruition here?
Yeah, so it was on Sunday night. I was in Texas for a wedding, so I was pretty shit faced already. And then I get this text from Jonathan saying he really needs to win this week. Jamal Williams had a Monday night game, and he was like, basically, he came out with London and Charbonnet for Williams first. And he said, basically, anyone on my bench is free to trade. So I was like, all right.
Okay.
But I was drunk, all right? So I wasn't sure I was reading it right. I wasn't sure if I was getting raped or not.
Yeah.
Let him wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, like the regret, and then
Yeah. I didn't want that morning regret, so I let it simmer. Woke up in the morning, read it over, and I was like, all right, like I drafted Jamal Williams with the idea that he'd be a rental if he'd get up, if there were going to be injuries, I'd trade him, right? Like that's literally the only reason I drafted Jamal Williams. And a trade comes through. I wasn't big on Drake London. I was big on Charbonnet, especially as a Kenneth Walker owner. So Charbonnet was who I was really targeting. And the fact that he even mentioned Drake London, I was like, I'll take it. And he just wanted someone else on his bench, and I just threw in Brandon Cooks because at this point I didn't really want anyone that was like missing weeks on my bench.
Yeah.
I just wanted pure lotto tickets, and Brandon Cooks was drafted as like a floor guy, like a pretty good floor guy,
Yeah.
and I was okay with parting with him. So honestly, like I thought I got away with robbery, and then like with what happened to Jamal Williams on top of that, I really think I got away with robbery. So yeah, I give myself a B on that. I think Jonathan gets a C with hindsight and everything, but yeah.
Break it down, David. What did you think of the trade when it first happened, and then maybe a little bit of hindsight because of what happened with Jamal?
Yeah, when it happened, I see it as Drake London coming off of a good week for Brandon Cooks, a wide receiver 2 in a high-powered offense with like a slight injury. I don't even know what an MCL sprain even is. I thought that was like a tendon, and so is an MCL like not a tendon? How do you like
No,
sprain
A
it?
ligament.
It's a ligament. It has L in it. It's the other side of the ACL, and I don't think it's as severe when it comes to like football moves. Like I think there's like taping you can do to it, and it's a quicker recovery than ACL.
Yeah, so I guess in my opinion, I guess like I don't know, like sprains I associate with like more like bone and structural damage rather than like a soft tissue type of thing. So, he's coming off of that, it's a high powered offense, whatever, a bit of a project. Jamal Williams, I think that's what he was actually looking for in this trade, which what he was.
Yeah.
He's looking for the win, and he's sitting on Cooper Cup, so he doesn't really need Drake London when he comes back. And so I think Jonathan's just fighting to be, I don't know, 3-1, 2-2 after the 4 weeks, and then he's in good shape. And so he was really looking for this week. It's fine by him, but Jamal Williams did get injured. But in I think Royce got the better end of it, but that's just because Jonathan was a bit desperate, and so he was willing to take worse part of that deal.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like is going on here.
Any grades? Any letters? Or
Um,
just not really.
I guess it's hard to grade it with hindsight, but
Yeah.
in the moment, I would say Jonathan gets like a C plus. Royce gets like a B, I
Okay.
guess, because I'm not a huge fan of Drake London. but I
Mhm.
guess neither is Royce, which is why we can go into our next trade. But do you have any thoughts on this trade, Chris?
I agree with you guys. I definitely, you already broke down the analysis, and that's exactly what I was thinking at the time. At the time, I thought it was a fair trade, like a B and a B, nothing crazy, nothing spectacular, just kind of bench pieces, and one person looking for a win. And then after the hindsight thing and him losing, that makes it tough. I would say it's more of a C D type of trade, but maybe more C now that you bring up that Cooper Cup thing,
Mhm.
and maybe he doesn't really need that. So yeah, let's jump into the next trade. How did this trade come about? Where James receives Drake London, and then you receive Sam Laporta.
Yeah, so I definitely needed a tight end with just a floor that isn't 0.
Who do you have?
Who is your tight
I
end?
Who are you
I
replacing him with?
Chiggy.
Chig Okonkwo. I mean, he
Chig
got you 5
Okonkwo.
points.
Yeah, he got me 5 points, right? Like he's definitely like a project in Tennessee, so I wanted to kind of have some redundancy at tight end because
Yeah.
like I am a Chig Okonkwo believer. I
Yeah.
am a truther. I think he's really good if given the opportunities. So I was a little zealous by, drafting him and having him be my starting tight end. He's more of like a stash guy.
Yeah.
So I just wanted just the points and the targets. That's purely what I was looking at. And Laporta looks good after 2 weeks. And
Okay.
James had an extra tight end, so I approached him like at work today, and just said like, what'll it cost? And he just needed like wide receiver depth, and he asked for either JSN or Drake London, and I'm higher on JSN than I am on Drake London.
Same, I agree.
And yeah, and when I got Drake London, it was like I was honestly looking to flip him by the end of the week once I got him. Like I was definitely looking to like either pair him up with someone and trade him, or just get rid of him
Like
and
cut.
trade him for a one for one. No, not a cut. Like just trying to find value. I was looking for
Yeah.
trades a lot this
I
week.
got you. I
So
got you.
I
the
see.
fact that I just found a buyer was good, and yeah, it was great. Like, if Laporta can get me 6-7 points a week, I'm
That's
happy
good.
with that.
That's good. But dude, did you reach out to anyone else with Drake London or no bites? Anyone you're
Yeah, I
interested in?
reached out to Michael. Michael wasn't looking. He wasn't really interested.
Okay.
I was trying to get Ryan. I was putting together like
Package.
just a bunch of wide receivers for Ryan for Jamar Chase.
And what did he say
I
about
off-
that? Was he considering it?
Dude, he was like, I'm looking for something higher for Jamar Chase because that's my number 1 pick. And I'm like, I'm offering AJ Brown and like whatever wide receiver you want. I'll give you 2 wide receivers.
He
for
needs
1
higher, bro.
Yeah, and he was like, I need something higher than AJ Brown. I'm like, that's literally my number 1 pick. 'cause he was looking at it in terms of like draft
Yeah.
value
Hey,
still,
also Rooks,
which is a rookie move.
Rooks, if you listen to it right now, draft capital's out the door. It's done with.
Yeah,
If your player is
Yeah.
dog shit, like Jamar Chase is dog shit now. All right.
dude.
Najee,
I was
dog
like,
shit.
Yeah,
Right.
I was like, who do you want for Jonathan Taylor? Are you gonna hold on to him for another 2 weeks, and start Tyler Algier as your running back, right? And he's like, that's my number 2. That's my 2nd round pick, bro. I'm
Yeah.
gonna need like Kenneth Walker or something. I'm like,
Oh,
get the fuck out of here.
That's some rook
Get the
shit, dude. That's some rook shit right there.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. Let him hold
It's
on.
fine. Let him
Hey,
learn. Let him
Hey,
learn.
let
But
him,
yeah,
let him rook. Let him rook.
Yeah,
All
let
right.
him rook.
like I approached Ryan with the sole intention of not trying to like scam him, because I'm like, dude, you're not playing him. You're playing. You look desperate if you're starting Tyler Algier. You know. Yeah. So I was offering him anyone he can start because like injuries are going through his team. He's still got like Marvin Mims on his team. Or
Yeah.
Marvin Mims did well, but like like some guys you could definitely drop. So I was trying to help him out, but he wasn't down, so that's fine.
Sure. David, thoughts on the trade?
I mean, I can see how it makes sense now after listening to Royce why he would trade for Sam Laporta, because if he was higher on Drake London, I mean, if he really wanted someone, he could look for like a Jake Ferguson on the waiver wire,
That's what I was thinking.
or like a Dawson Knox, or something like he can find because Sam Laporta hasn't really broken out yet. He's had a couple of decent. Like maybe last week was a good week. The week before was like, I
But
think.
the target shares there. He's like the most targeted. Like he's like a top targeted tight end right now. So I see the
Yeah, it's like there, but For Drake London, I can see how if you were low on Drake London, then that would be an easy trade to make.
Sure.
So yeah, I can see that now that Royce is talking through. Yeah, Sam Laporta is not bad. So I would say maybe like A for Royce since he was trying to get rid of Drake London, and it wasn't James what's his name, Drake London owner
Yeah,
last
he's a
year.
big time
Yeah,
Drake
yeah.
London
There you
keeper.
go.
He's a
So I
good.
guess an A for James.
I'm right there with you. Yeah. Royce gets a large ticket at tight end. Gets out of the Falcon receiving hall, and I know you're right. James is a Drake London shooter. And I was looking at Royce's bench afterwards in the grand scheme of
6
things.
rookies, bro.
Royce only has rookies on his bench. He only has rookies on
One
his
of
bench.
them's gotta hit.
So
Yeah.
with that being said, I'd give them more Bs each. Nothing crazy, like I said, nothing like outstanding for both teams. Just solid depth pieces.
All
So
right.
let's David jump into our game.
Yeah, so our game this week is Believe It or Not. The prompt for everyone was Believe It or Not, and no topics are off limits. So we could really be,
Mhm.
well, fantasy football related.
Oh shit. Okay.
Or I don't know.
Chill.
It's all
We don't know.
it's all redacted. It could be about anything, but mine are
Yeah.
at least fantasy football related, so I can start us off something easy. Believe it or not, Michael will keep the streak alive of missing 4 straight. I didn't even know if we fact checked this or not, but Michael will keep the streak alive this year by missing 5 straight playoff appearances, and he is already starting off well. Believe it or not. Oh, it seems like my internet's dying. Hold up. Either my internet died or Discord died. What the hell's going on? Sorry, y'all. Hello?
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Did I break
We're
up?
hearing you the whole time.
Yeah, we heard you the whole
We heard
time.
you the whole time.
Oh, okay. Well, it was frozen on my screen, and I think I was
Yeah.
still recording the whole time. So,
Nice.
did you guys hear the question?
Yeah.
I think I don't know, man. I have this weird thing where I feel like if people are doing good like in life that year, they get a chance at the booty. Like
Asian
that karma shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Nee's team, which is gonna roll into mine later. But I think I like Michael's team. I think he's gonna make the playoffs this year. He's in a good place.
I mean, Michael's team is not bad. He just
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
terrible lineup
Oh
decisions.
yeah. Manager for sure. The one
It's
person right now is
for-
manager diff for sure.
I mean, his bench is blowing up for like 70 points just on the bench, and he loses by like 3 points.
I almost say it's his fault I lost because he told me to play Zay Jones. I'm like, fuck.
Nah, it was like, I mean, you heard what they said about Christian Kirk, so you don't believe it, Royce? What do you think?
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. I think Michael's team is pretty good in a vacuum, especially with like all his lottery tickets fucking hitting. I think I mean, if they keep this up, Michael's worst enemy is himself. So
True.
who knows? But I don't think like right now where it stands, I don't think he'll miss the playoffs.
I mean, when all your lottery tickets hit, how do you know who to play?
You start trading.
That's true.
All right, Michael, bang my line.
Shit.
All right, Chris, why don't you break down
Let's
your
run to
next one?
myself. All right. Believe it or not, Timmy's team is saved because of Cam Akers getting traded and his waiver wire pickups.
Waiver
Timmy's team
wire
is saved.
pickups, as in Kareem Punt.
Kareem Hunt, mainly Kareem Hunt and Cam Akers getting traded. His team is saved from the Nick Chubb injury.
I don't believe it. As the Jerome Ford owner, but Kareem Hunt already knows like the scheme and like the coaching staff and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But he's not in football shape, and he has to get in football shape, and he's already like an older running back already, and so I think those things compiled. He does have a buffer of 2 wins, but I don't know if Kareem Hunt will play like too much of a role in the offense immediately, which what Timmy needs to stay alive, and even in the long run, because they did spend like a 5th-round pick on Jerome Ford and was drafted to be Nick Chubb's successor. So why give anything to the guy they cut last year?
Okay.
Is my opinion.
Thoughts?
I don't believe it because that Minnesota backfield I'm just not a believer in, even with Cam Akers there. They're still gonna run committee, I think. I think I don't think Timmy's season is saved by anything. I think best course of action for him is to flip them. Whichever lottery tickets are popping off, just start flipping them. To get a startable week to week running back too. So in a sense, if that happens, it might be saved because he did, flip those acquisitions. But with the way it stands now, if he continues to just play them, plugging them in at running back too, I don't think his season's saved.
Okay, let's move into yours, Royce.
Wait, you gotta tell me if you believe it or not.
Me?
Yeah, about your own.
I think I believe it. I think Alexander Madison's kind of bad. I think that mainly the Cam Akers one. So maybe 50-50. I don't necessarily believe in a cream hunt, but I think Cam Akers is gonna. I don't think Alexander Madison's pretty good. I think he was more like a volume play, and Cam Akers is a better athlete if he can fit into the scheme. Personally.
Do you think Alexander Madison is gonna go back to the Alexander Madison role, and Cam Akers is Dalvin Cook, or is Cam Akers Alexander Madison?
I think they might just split. I think when it comes down to it, they might just split. But that makes Cam Akers playable in a high-powered offense.
I mean, I can see a saving great. I mean, Dalvin Cook didn't. Speaking of Dalvin Cook, he didn't. He's not bad, and it's not a bad situation for him splitting 50-50 with Breece Hall that's being eased back. He just had a bad week last week, and so his value. So I don't think he's dead in the water. Maybe if he didn't have Dalvin Cook, if he had a Clyde Edwards-Helaire, then I would say he's dead in the water. But it's fine. I mean, Dalvin Cook's fine. He's 6-7 points. Fine.
All
right. That leads me to my believe it or not, which is pretty good. Believe it or not, Timmy will be playing RB2 roulette all season.
I believe that.
That's an easy belief.
I believe it.
That's too easy.
We just had the whole discussion about it, so believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he's gonna have to play the role behind
he
it.
will need to actually manager diff his lineup to stay afloat. So I mean, he as a former champion, you gotta think. But he's also a reigning toilet master, so I don't know which one to believe.
Speaking of reigning former booty champ, I need my toilet, by the way. I mean, I need my booty, by the way.
Yeah, someone get this. I think it's cursed if you don't relinquish it. Then you're just cursed the next year.
Because now I'm gonna hold it for 10 weeks, and then
I know.
I have to pass it on.
Yeah. Come on, guys, do better.
My next, believe it or not, is Jonathan Taylor will not be fantasy relevant this year. Due to the Colts trading him to a non-contender.
I believe it.
I don't believe it. I don't think they can trade him. I think he's back in the building. He's working out, and maybe he might believe in Anthony Richardson, opening up the offense for him. So I don't believe it. I think he stays, and he might do pretty well with Anthony Richardson. Doing pretty well for a rookie quarterback.
I mean, Anthony Richardson just runs it in from the 15-yard line, so.
But he's throwing. He wasn't throwing too bad last week, but I didn't watch the game. I was definitely a box watch scorer, so you might have to factor.
Yeah, I mean, there were or maybe Royce, did you watch the game?
He also played the Texans, so
multiple. I mean, I feel when he gets into the red zone, inside the 15, inside the 10.
Yeah.
His first option is to look for a running lane. When I was watching him, it seemed I don't know if it was a designed play, but it was more of I know I can get into the end zone if I just run it, so I'm gonna just do it.
Right.
But I guess since they don't have a Jonathan Taylor there, I mean, it would be easier just to hand it off to a Jonathan Taylor type player. So I can see both sides of the coin. So you
Okay.
don't believe it, Royce?
I believe it. I think the Colts
Mhm.
O line, like Jonathan Taylor, his rookie year had one of the best O lines in the league. I think the Colts O line is a shadow of itself. And I honestly like how well are you gonna play if a team already shows it doesn't want you but can't get rid of you, like, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But he signed the deal though, right?
Yeah,
He signed a 1 year deal, and I'm just gonna
You're
assume there's
right.
no franchise tag behind
I
it. So
wouldn't watch film. I wouldn't try that hard. I would give up on plays early. I wouldn't
okay.
fight for the extra yardage. If I know like I'm in a me being a Division 1 athlete, that's what I would do, of course, right? But
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Let's jump into mine. Mine is, believe it or not, Timmy never takes his shots.
that's an easy believe.
believe. Oh,
Okay.
this dude's collecting
Timmy is like so
freaking APR
washed.
right now.
Your shit team's washed. He had so many chances to just record himself taking shots, and he never did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Timmy is like so washed. I think, yeah. And even if he
Fine.
did take shots, I think he could only do like a max 5 in a row now.
Like Timmy doesn't
Oh,
take shots. He still hasn't picked up his toilet nor given up his booty. Like,
and he missed the draft this year.
and he missed the draft. Soft.
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 Really
And
soft.
he's becoming a CP. He's studying for a CPA. Soft.
Soft,
Soft.
That's so soft.
Paper,
Shit.
bitch.
Go ahead, Royce.
All right, Royce. Next one, number 2.
All right. Believe it or not, Ryan's team is in for an implosion before bye weeks even hit.
Damn. Before bye weeks even hit. It's a week 4 bye this year, no? Or week
Yeah,
Really?
it's
Oh, I
always
thought it
week,
was week
it's
6.
no, it's always week 4 buys. Or last year was week 4 buys at least. Not I don't know about always. I'm gonna say believe it. His
Wait.
bench is kind of soft. His starting lineup
Implosion.
is barely holding on. You got Miles Sanders and Tyler Gio trying to hold it down. Like Miles Sanders is doing pretty rough right now. I would say I believe it. I believe it. It's gonna.
Damn,
He's a
2
real throw down.
weeks. I mean, coming out of the draft, I didn't think his team was that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you have like data points. It's just so weird how like you see players before the draft and then like
Oh
after
yeah,
watching them
absolutely.
on like play in real life, you're just like, well, I feel like it can just ebb and flow like 1 week to 1 week. It's like you look at your team, you're like, fuck, dude, my team is a pile of. I talked about this last year. Long time
Yeah.
viewers of the show, you'll probably know this is something I
Yeah.
constantly struggle with. You just look at your team, you're like, this is shit. Why do I look forward to playing this dumbass game? And then the next week, you're like, I think I can contend this year.
I'm him. I'm
Yeah,
fucking him.
it's just a manager diff. I don't know what to say.
And next
But
week is like, God damn,
yeah,
it's gonna
like I'm gonna score like 40 points this week. I'm like, holy shit, my team's so bad. But I mean, right now, I think if word comes out that Joe Burrow probably won't, but Joe Burrow goes on IR for like misses 4 weeks, I would say that's an implosion.
for sure.
But right now, I'd say his team is holding together as much as Timmy's team's holding together. I don't think it can take another hit.
Fair. All right. That's going back to David. Last one.
Our last one for me. The top 3 quarterbacks from this year will be completely different than the top 3 from last year. Last year's was Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts. Fantasy quarterbacks.
Oh man, I think they
I
stay.
don't believe it.
I don't
I
believe.
don't
I think they
believe
stay.
You think it's gonna be the same after this?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the same. Do I need to explain? Or-
Yeah. So
Well,
you all.
who? No, I
Who
believe
do
it.
I?
But
You guys
by
all
the end of the
believe
year,
it.
who do you think is gonna roll into the top 3 and not them?
Who am I gonna roll into the top 3? Damn, that's hard.
Or who do you think stays between those 3? Who do you think stays?
I think Jalen Hurts stays
Okay.
due to the 1 yard shit. I think Patrick Mahomes maybe falls out. I know that's a little spicy, but
That is
That's
spicy. Okay.
spicy.
you know, that receiving core just I mean, he can do enough, but he wouldn't put out like outrage. And since it's a 4-point passing touchdown league, um I don't know. I don't know who comes in. Is it weird if I say Lamar Jackson goes in?
You can.
I
it's
mean,
your, it's
I
your
think
believe it or not. Like you tell us.
I would say Lamar Jackson sneaks in. Let me see who's top right now. Let me see fantasy
Kirk
stats.
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins could sneak
That's
in.
crazy.
That's
That's wild.
Let me
you're
see
wildin',
this.
dude.
Let me see the strength of schedule.
You're wild, dude. I don't know about
Yeah.
that one.
I say Tua sneaks in. Spicy pick.
That
Spicy.
no, you know what? That's the one person I was thinking.
I would
was
say
thinking,
Tua or Lamar Jackson sneaks in. Patrick Mahomes comes out. Yeah.
right now on points, the top 3 are Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and Kirk Cousins.
Hey, it's only 2 weeks.
Jordan Love is in.
Jordan Love's in.
There you go. Well, it's only 2 weeks, but it's already yeah.
I would say like the only one to sneak it in might be Justin Herbert, and just from a pure analytical standpoint, like with Kellen Moore as the OC, he might be airing it out more using that arm strength, so he might get more like big plays. But besides that, I don't really see like any of the 3 dropping out. Honestly, like Patrick Mahomes is infamous for turning chicken shit into chicken salad.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. So, but
Alright,
yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
My third one is, believe it or not, Vinny deserves to be number 1 in the power rankings.
Does he deserve it?
He's
Like him as a person?
Yeah.
No, his team.
Or
Manager
his
did,
team.
Manager did.
Different answers.
And real
I-
shit, that's also my karma, maybe like Asian shit, where he's like, he's got a job now, he's graduated from college, he's holding shit down at his house.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a homeowner.
I don't know, man. Like, just rolling for him.
Yeah, I would say.
I believe it. I mean, look at his team, dude. Like, his team's insane.
Royce would know.
His team's fucking insane, bro.
All right, so believe.
I mean, his
believe.
team is not. I wouldn't say it's insane. I'd say it's very good.
That's copium, dude. He's
That's
it's
copium.
insane,
So
dude.
who's? I mean, besides the Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams stack, Hawkinson had like, will like be like maybe
Hawkinson's
top
off.
three, top 3 tight end on the week, right? He popped off 1 week. James Cook looking good, but you got Joe Mixon like kind of like not performing as a running back 1, more like a running back 2. I would say James Cook running back 1, Joe Mixon.
He has Raheem Mostert on the bench.
Yeah. Debo
Jonathan
Samuel on the
Swift.
bench. Come on, bro.
He said
I
Debo.
mean, you can't-
He said Debo.
He said Debo, bro.
I know, but you can only play 2 wide receivers, and he's already got it locked down. So I don't even look at the. I mean, it's good. I would say. If his quarterback is like Jalen Hurts, then I would say it's insane. Or if he had, instead of DeAndre Swift, he had like.
That was his downfall last year. He never had he was not willing to play quarterback. I think he rode Tannehill like all year last year. That was his downfall last year.
Yeah,
that was wild.
I would say if he had like a doesn't even have to be like a Patrick Mahomes. It could be like a.
If he's listening to the pod, man, Jordan Love is out there.
Yeah, it could be Jordan. It could be Kirk Cousins, and I would say it's insane.
Yeah, Jordan Love's out there. So.
Yeah, but it's very good. It's deserving of the number 1 spot, but I wouldn't say like he's like far from everyone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
Run it out, Rick.
My last one is, believe it or not, Topher rides with this Chargers wide receiver staff the rest of the season.
I think he does.
I think he does.
I think he does.
And what if he runs the Kelsey and Kelsey and Sky Moore in the flex? That'd be crazy.
Never know.
I believe it, dude. I believe it. I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know. Has he approached either of you guys for a trade? Have you tried approaching him
No.
for a
I,
trade?
I did approach him for Kelsey. He
Me
quickly
too.
turned it down.
Yeah, same.
I think I brought up trying to see how he feels about the stack, and he wanted to keep his stack. That's what he told me.
That's what he said. He wants to keep
Dude,
it.
same.
Yeah.
I approached him. I was like, "Yo, do you want to split the stack up?" And he was like, "Let me think about it." He said no, and then he like retracted. He's like, "Mike Williams for AJ Brown." And I
Oh
was like,
my god.
"Nah, bro,
Come on,
no, no."
Um, I haven't because you know he's not gonna trade Keenan Allen, you know, after like a
Yeah,
30-point week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Mike Williams has always left a sour taste in my mouth, just being a past Mike Williams owner, and just in years prior, just all that hype. He's gonna take the. He hasn't taken a step up. He's always getting injured. So Mike
So boom
Williams,
bust, right?
yeah, Mike Williams is just I don't know. It's just maybe that's the fantasy experience in me. Is like some players you just like like they'll just like for example J.K. Dobbins or something. Like they're gonna some players like are gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So I haven't approached him. I've thought about this breaking up the stack, but it seems like he's pretty high on the stack.
yeah,
Maybe
Alright.
it's doing well for him.
So I believe it, Royce,
yeah. I believe it.
David.
I for the whole year, yeah, maybe.
All right, so let's roll into
Holy
week 2
shit,
recap.
we're kind of we're going pretty.
We're running long, so let's roll through this really quick.
Yeah.
Chris versus David. James made certain picks for me, so he doesn't have the full stats in. If you look at it later, but Chris versus David. David won. James versus Jonathan. James won. Michael versus Topher. Topher won. Nick versus Timmy. Nick won. No,
Timmy
Timmy
won.
won.
Timmy
Excuse me.
won.
Timmy won. Vincent versus Ryan. Vincent won, and then Royce versus Yi, and Yi won. So David 2-6 this week again, keeping his percentage at 33%. James rolled in for me. He didn't finish his drafts, and he didn't make the pod, right? He
He
didn't
didn't
make the
make
pod,
it. No.
so he didn't finish it. He went 1 for 4. So he's gonna add on. So he was at 25%. He's gonna add on to the guest list, and then Ryan went 1 for 6. You gotta fix that percentage for me, but he went 1 for 6, leading the total. So David's running total is still at 33%, 4 for 12. I stay the same at 2 for 6 because I did not do my picks last week, and then the guests are currently at 4 for 16 at 25%. So they're gonna need Royce to hold it down right now. You're gonna need Royce to
Yeah.
hold them down, get them back in this. Yeah. Any thoughts on last week? I thought compared to week 1 was spicy, but you guys suck at predicting just like me. And according to what the experts chose, it was quite the week of upsets. So no one really got any picks in, and I felt like the only week that was close was Michael and Topher with that defense. I think that's going off Browns D or something like that. Pittsburgh D, one of them, and Nee's team went off 150. So those were my quick takes on that. Dave, what did you think about this week?
Yeah, I thought very close matchups this week. Couple people had squeaked out the win, couple nail biters. Timmy might be his last win of the season. He squeaked it out.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm kind of hoping Timmy keeps this streak kind of going because if he makes the playoffs, he's that much closer to kicking maybe a good team out of the playoffs. So like Michael's team's pretty good, but Sango too. So if Timmy kicks Michael's team out of the playoffs, but then we get to go against Timmy's weak ass team in the playoffs,
Yeah.
I could see that being pretty spicy. So I'm rooting for you, Timmy. I hope you keep this up because I would love to see you in the playoffs or the toilet.
Okay. Thoughts on the week, Roy?
I'm just straight up not having a good time. So yeah, I mean, I hope I turned it around, but I mean, this week was pretty crazy, pretty exciting. I just got the short end of the stick, getting fucking bodied by Yi.
Yeah.
Royce currently is the antithesis to my my current Asian philosophy, because Roy's about to move into a new
That's
place,
true.
has a freaking big boy job and stuff.
That's
And he's like,
true.
0-2 getting whomped on. So
0-2.
Paying for my table at Vegas.
Yeah. All right. So let's jump into the power rankings. You guys saw it, but let's bring out some stats. The highest riser is Topher up 5 from 11 to 6. James is up 4 from 7 to 3. The biggest droppers though is the only cap react Nick down from 5 to 10, and Royce down from 3. Royce down 3 from 9 to 12.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I wanted to jump off that piggyback. I think Nee is definitely deserving of 1 with this team's performance last week. There's only 3 teams with winning records, by the way. Overall wins in that column. I think me, Jonathan, and Topher. Everyone else is either at 500 or under. And then 4, maybe arguably, no, 3, arguably 4. But never mind. Rankings 4 to 6, arguably 3 to 6 is the same when it comes to the power ranking score.
Yeah.
About James has 367, myself 4, Ryan at 417, Fintook at 424, and Topher at 424. And I'm really thinking, is Royce's question I have is, Royce, is he really last, or was it more just based on last week's performance? So just a lot to unpack there. Anything to you think about, David, or any thoughts on that?
Yeah, let me take a quick peek at Royce's team, see if he's deserving for the last place team.
So
But
as he does that, go ahead, Royce. Anything on the power ranking as David looks at some stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. He deserves the top spot. I think my team, it deserves the bottom spot right now because like there was sorry ass performance this week, but last week I mean, but honestly, like in a vacuum, I don't think my team's that bad.
Okay.
I am going with the lottery ticket strat, so we'll see how that pans out. But for the most part, I think there are worse teams, worse rosters than mine. So yeah.
just quickly looking at Royce's roster, I mean, AJ Brown, Calvin Ridley, like you can argue that those are top 12 talents on pretty high powered offenses. So just as easily, they're off to a slow start, but like just as easily you could 3 weeks from now, you could be looking at 2 top 12 wide receivers right there just based on talent. And like, Godwin, he's like right there at the wide receiver 2 level. It's just unfortunate for Royce that Baker favors Mike Evans more than Godwin, more than years prior. I forgot who I told during the draft, but I was like, hey, Baker's got a nice deep throw, and then someone laughed at me in the face, and Mike Evans like going off right now. So
who'd you sit next to?
I think I sat next to Vin, and I said, Vin, corroborate on this. I said Baker has a nice deep throw, and then Vin just looked at me and started laughing his ass off.
Okay.
Because when I drafted Mike Evans, he was like, "Are you sure about that, dude?" But enough about myself. I just wanted to mention that Topher going from 11th to 6th, talking all this shit in the chat right now. All I'm gonna say was last week, radio silence from Topher during the games, right? And so Topher, I just hope when you're listening to this, like, if you're gonna deal, you gotta be ready to receive when things don't break the same way how it's been going right now.
For sure.
So yeah, so I just hope that you're not muting. Who muted? Vin mutes the chat. So I hope you're not
definitely mute the chat when his team's losing.
So I hope you're not taking the Vintook approach and muting the chat when the times are bad, and when the times are good, you start dealing it, right? So I just hope like that you can take as much as you dish. That's all I hope. But that's all I have for the Power
All right,
rankings.
we're running along, so let's roll into the week 3 predictions. David, I wanted to bring this up. We're gonna try something a little different. I'm gonna share my sleeper screen, and then you guys can look through it, so the viewers can actually have some to
All right.
reference. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can kind of just build off, just see a visual for our viewers. I think it's sleeper. Double check me if this is it. You see my mouse? Is this one? I have two screens open actually.
This is it right here.
Yeah.
Is it this one?
You're good. I see it.
Okay. All right. So our first matchup is myself and Jonathan. So since I'm in this, your thoughts on Mahomes versus Herbert, Royce? You can break it down first.
Yeah, Mahomes versus Herbert. I think Chris, you edge it out. I think Mahomes, is Mahomes. So there's that.
Okay.
Are we just going down the lineup, or?
Yeah, and you can go first, and we can be contrarian. So
hey, we'll just piggyback off. You send me the mic, I come in. You want to do it all?
All right. All right, yeah. And then for running back, I think Chris got it easily. Wide receiver, I think Jonathan edges it out here. He's got a lot of good players on pretty good levels right now. At tight end, I got Jonathan. Taysom Hill, starting Taysom Hill is pretty fucking spicy.
Very spicy.
It's
yes,
very spicy. At flex, I also have Jonathan. Nico Collins is kind of him right now.
Yeah, he is.
Only receiver to have 200 yards in 2 weeks. So, and then in this case, does defense and kicker make a difference? I think so. I think Chris, with his new Cowboys kicker toy, and the Eagles defense is just really good. So I think they'll do pretty well.
I mean, Jake Elliott's not a slouch himself, bro.
Yeah, but all I'm saying,
number 2.
Yeah, so that's why.
I mean, Brett. I think Brett's number 1, right, Brett?
Also, Drake 18.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, Jake Elliott.
What I'm saying is the Eagles D is what edges it out in this case.
Yeah.
So yeah, general thoughts. I love the Taysom Hill start. I love the pickup.
I really do too.
Bro, Taysom Hill's either gonna get you 2 points, or he might even go for a triple crown in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He might throw for one.
Yeah, exactly. So winner. I think Jonathan takes this.
Yeah.
I obviously have myself. So David, contrarian about anything?
I think Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert's a little bit closer than just easily Patrick Mahomes. I say that as a wash. Running backs, I don't believe that Jahmyr Gibbs will be handed the keys to the offense just yet. I do
think snap percentage went up 20%. We're gonna see.
We'll see, but that Hard Knocks, I think they really like Craig Reynolds. He showed a lot of grit, and he showed he did play last year for them. He did come in, so I think that trust is there. Maybe I don't know why they're not giving Jahmyr Gibbs like the entire load, but I just haven't seen it from him yet. And so I do think if Aaron Jones is fine and Bijan is fine, then that's like more than enough to overcome a Jahmyr Gibbs and McCaffrey stack. So I have Jonathan edging that one out. For wide receivers, I got a push. Tight end again, Taysom Hill, big play, but Kyle Pitts is essentially, you can put a 2 there. Like he's good for like 2 points.
2 points.
And so I think if Taysom Hill does anything in the game, then I think he'll win that. Baltimore defense versus Anthony Richardson. I don't even know if he's out of the concussion protocol yet.
Yeah.
And not so I think, I think Baltimore might. I don't even know who the backup is. Is that in
Minshew?
Yeah. Oh, actually, Minshew's like decent, but
yeah, he's decent.
But so I think Jake Elliott, Baltimore. They're both very good, but I think Jonathan wins out here just due to the Taysom Hill and Nico Collins type of deal. But yeah, I have.
All right. So it's 2 Jonathans, 1 Chris. Let's roll into James versus Dave. Oh no, that's not it. That's the Step Bro Bowl. So I saved it for last.
Oh, is that the
game of the match? That's my match of the week. So when I put the documents together, I have a match of the week, and that's the Step Bro Bowl and the High Bowl. So let's jump into Timmy versus Topher. I'll break this down first. I got Gino versus Deshaun. I got Topher here. David, thoughts?
Yeah, I have Topher too.
Roy?
I have a push.
Push? Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that? Any thoughts on this consensual sex ever?
I think Deshaun Watson is very he's inconsistent, but like when he shows out, he shows out. I think he's playing who is he playing again? Yeah, he's playing Tennessee, which I think
Yeah.
he'll be pretty good for that. I think he's just gonna pass a lot more with Nick Chubb being out, so there's
Okay.
that too. So I think him and Gino are on the same level for this week.
All right. Well, let's roll into running backs. Dalvin Cook versus Tony Pollard. Let me double check. Yeah, Dalvin Cook versus Tony Pollard versus Derrick Henry and Rashad White. I think Cleveland's defense is good. I think Philadelphia's defense is good. So I got Pollard versus Arizona all the way. Thoughts?
Yeah,
Agree.
agreed.
Okay. So let's move into wide receivers. We got the wide receiver, the Chargers stack versus T. Higgins. So I'm gonna put T. Higgins and DJ Moore there, and I'm gonna put Shaheed in the flex. So I got the Chargers stack playing at Minnesota. It should be a high scoring game. I got Topher here.
Agree.
Agree. I think Austin Eckler being out again
Yeah.
definitely benefits the both wide receivers.
For sure.
Yeah.
Tight end. Do we need to talk about this as Topher?
No,
No.
it's Topher.
Okay.
Unless
All
we
right,
want to
so-
be spicy.
No, come on,
Nah,
that's Kincaid. No.
fuck that. No.
Hey, shot bet, dude. I'll take 2 shots on the next pod.
No,
Kincaid.
I
If
won't.
Kincaid outscores Kelsey and Timmy drops into my line, then I will take 2 shots for that.
All right.
So Rashid Shaheed versus Justice Hill.
I'd say that's a push, bro.
Yeah, push.
I have a push too. I kind of have whoever's scoring a touchdown. Big things here. I do think Jets. No, what do I have Jets here?
Oh, because he just picked up Dolphins on today's waiver wire.
Oh, shoot. So
Oh.
I had the Jets in. I thought Jets in New England was fine. I don't know why he was so high in Miami
yeah,
versus
he changed it.
Denver. Like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Jets was
okay.
fine. So I'm gonna drop that. I thought it did make a difference. My general thoughts though, I think he might want to play Burks instead of Hill for ceiling if he needs it, if he feels like he needs it. And I might play Musgrave over Kincaid.
Okay.
Any thoughts, Royce first?
Nothing really. He just has a bunch of he has 3 prove it players on his bench, so it doesn't really leave room for flexibility.
Yeah.
So
Who the fuck is this guy?
he's Pollard's
I
backup.
think Pollard's handcuff.
Okay. All right.
But Pollard's handcuff is that XFL MVP guy. They always give handoffs to.
All right. Sorry for that. Whatever. All right. So I
got
got Topher
Topher.
winning this.
Yeah, we all have Topher.
Yep.
All right, we got Topher. So let's move into Mike Mo versus Nick. Who broke down? I think Dave is your turn to break this.
Yeah,
one
I
down.
can break
Dave,
this
what do you
one
think?
down. I have Tua. Tua. Yes.
Yeah, Tua.
Winning this one out. For running backs, Kyron Williams and Brian Robinson versus Madison and Etienne. I definitely have Michael on this one. Madison lost carries, is gonna lose carries, and Travis Etienne. They're just not blocking enough for him. I feel like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
72% of the carries, 12 for 40.
For wide receivers, I do have Nick, Stephon Diggs, and AJ or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Agree.
If Amon-Ra is like fine and he didn't pull anything when he was cramping,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, he has a toe. He has a toe injury now.
Oh, a turf toe.
Turf
Yeah,
toe, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right with the
So-
iron plate. Yeah. But Puka, you gotta see it 3 weeks in a row to really
Yeah.
believe it before I start putting him in as like a 20-point a game guy. And like there's more tape on him too. So
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, they're not gonna beat out Stephon Diggs and Amon-Ra if healthy. For tight end, I do have Darren Waller edging it out. I think Kittle is too good at blocking, and that's what he's been relegated to, I guess.
Yeah.
And the offense is just too high powered. They have too many weapons in too many spots. Kittle's day will come, but it's just too hard to predict, and he just keeps costing you if you just send him out every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's too hard to predict which San Francisco pass catcher will blow up. And so
For
I do
sure.
have Darren Waller being the number one option in New York. And
Okay.
for the flex, I have Addison and versus Pickens. They're both the same type of players. Both of them last week, I think, caught like a 70-yard touchdown. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's just both of them are in similar situations, I would say. So I have a push there.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with your analysis. Any contrarian takes on that?
I
Royce?
do.
What do you got?
I think a wide receiver is actually a push.
Mm.
I think Jordan. I
Devontae
think
Nakua
I
versus
I think
Brown Diggs,
Nakua is
right?
here to stay. I honestly think Nakua is here to stay. And yeah, he's gonna win in that flex. And I think Jordan Addison, that deep ball against the Chargers secondary, which let like Tyreek Hill score 40 points. They're gonna let it happen again.
Isn't that a JJ game then?
Nah, it's an Addison game. I think it's an Addison
All
game.
right.
Like I'm pretty big on Addison, so I think it's a
Points
push.
a week, not bad. Okay, I see.
Yeah. So that I think
Royce,
Devontae
okay.
Smith is really good. So I think it's a push. I
mean,
think yeah.
The Addison 14 points was if only you watched the box score, but if you watched like last week's game, he had like 1 point going into like the fourth quarter or third quarter.
He had a big touchdown.
And he had like a really
Yeah.
big touchdown, so you just see like 4 targets and like 100 yards, and you're like, damn, this guy's good.
So I got defense making a big difference this week. I got the New England versus at the Jets. That's gonna be a big deal. And I think if I were Nick, I might play Zay Flowers over George Pickens.
Yeah.
The Zay Flowers at Indianapolis versus George Pickens. Just a thought. But yeah, I got Michael here.
Same.
Yeah, same.
All right, so everyone's got Michael. I'm gonna fill this in. All right, rolling into Vincent versus Royce. Let's go. David, go ahead and run this back, and then we'll switch it up afterwards.
Oh, what, Vintuk versus Royce?
Yeah.
Royce can make so I actually have Trevor Lawrence winning in the quarterback contest. Joe Burrow, he tweaked his calf, and I think he doesn't really trust his body right now, so he can't really like uncork it.
Yeah.
For running backs, I think Zach Moss last game was more of like an aberration than like a thing to stay. I think he had a really good matchup against a really bad run defense from Houston Texans, and that's why he got like that many points. I think like maybe he'd be closer to like 10 points this week. And so I do believe in Royce's running backs, Ken Walker and Josh Jacobs, both the kind of like the workhorse of the team. And that volume is there, and they have easier matchups this time than what Ramondre and Zach Moss have. For wide receivers, I do have it if Waddle is healthy. Are we taking DK and Waddle as the running backs?
I got Waddle, DK versus Ridley Brown.
Okay, yeah. So then I have Royce eking that one out. For tight end, I have Dallas Goedert, so Vin. And for the flex spot, I don't know. I think this one might be a push.
9 points to
9
points last week. 8.3.
So for kickers and defense, I think the San Francisco kicker's been playing pretty well in a high-powered. They're guaranteed points onto the.
14 back-to-back weeks, pretty good.
I mean, they're guaranteed points every time they touch the ball, and the New York Giants offense is like looking like paper recently. Defense with like the Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals game last week. And so I think I do have Vin winning this one against Royce, and Royce goes to 0-3. I'm sorry, Royce.
Bro, you picked me for almost everything except for tight end and flex.
Oh, really?
Still chose Vin, bro. Make it make sense.
All right, I will make it make sense.
I'm picking Vin, dude.
I'll make it make sense. My contrarian take on this is I think he plays Kirk Cousins against the Chargers at home versus
That changes
compared to
the
Joe
whole
Burrow.
dynamic.
I think Kirk Cousins is huge. I think running backs goes to Vincent personally. Wide receivers does go to Royce. I think AJ Brown and Calvin really have bounced back games. Yeah, with Houston and Tampa Bay, but more or less a push. But I think slightly Royce. Tight end does go to Vincent, and then flex. I think Michael Thomas at Green Bay. Yeah, I would probably say the Green Bay game is there, and so I have Vincent. So Royce, any feedback on your game?
I have quarterbacks push, running backs me,
Yeah.
wide receivers push actually.
Oh.
Tight end
push.
I think tight end is push as
David.
well. But flex, I think it goes down to flex. I think Chris Godwin's gonna have himself a game.
I say it comes down to the kicker 1v1. That's what tipped the scale. I saw the 14 versus the 4.
This guy right here, 4 and 6 right here.
Yeah.
Evan McFuck, come on now.
There are better kickers on the waiver wire, but yeah. Anyways,
they
I have, despite what I said, I have been winning because of the kicker.
Okay. All right, so I got Vin too, and then Royce, go and break down your brother's game, and I'll round out the last game.
Easy, I feel like you'll all agree. Quarterbacks goes to Ryan.
Yep.
All the other position players go to you.
Agreed.
I think we don't need to think about this one too much.
And then the only thing that keeps Ryan in the game is his fucking defense crutch.
Dude, what is it?
Who are they playing this
Arizona?
week?
They might put up 40 again.
They might put the second string defense in, dude.
Yeah.
Man, so yeah, I agree. Like, just look at this team. Like, Jalen Hurts, and then you got Swift Mixon versus Sanders Algier, Hill Adams versus Chase Cooper. Even though this is not bad, this is way better.
Bro, I want, after the past 3 years, I kind of want a Hill Adams stat now.
Real shit.
They are like best friends.
And then James Cook versus Kirk. Like, Kirk's okay. Like, Cook's okay. Like, that's more or less a push. But I was looking at Debo earlier versus the Giants, and yeah. If Ayuk has a shoulder injury, like, I'm playing Debo.
Are you not playing James Cook to like not lose? You know,
I guess it's just a floor.
It's more
like,
of
you're
a
looking at
floor
this team,
play. You know, you would rather
that.
have like 12 points than have like 3 points.
Yeah. If I'm Ryan though, I might play Gabe Davis at Washington just to go shoot for that ceiling instead of Kirk, personally.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So yeah, I think all around that's me.
Yeah, easy.
Easy. All right, let's jump into the Step Bro Bowl. Going back up, James versus David. I got James here. I got Josh Allen at Washington versus Lamar Jackson versus Indy. Running backs, I do have David, Jerome Ford, and Najee. Najee at Vegas versus Gus Edwards and Pacheco.
They're both nasty.
They're both ass running back form.
But slightly, I'm gonna go this way. Wide receivers. Let me double check this. I think it's CD and Mike Moe versus Jefferson and Pittman.
And the other Mike Moe.
Sure.
And then I got a push here. I think CD at Arizona is gonna pop off. I think Mike Moe is gonna be fine. And then Jefferson and should eat. I don't think Pittman eats, so I think it's just pretty much 1v2 here. So that's why I have that as a push. Tight end, I do have Mark Andrews.
What? Stop smoking crack.
Come on now.
The number 2 tight end on the year, bro. Come on. Stop smoking crack.
If you want Lamar Jackson to do good, you know Mark Andrews.
I'm throwing it to the masturbator.
And then for the flex, you got 2-2 versus Tyler Lockett. And I have David there, so I got Tyler Lockett. Royce, first, any contrarian thoughts or anything about that?
Basically, I agree, except at running backs, I think it's push. Both running back cores are dog shit. So, yeah.
That ain't my core, bro. My core has Saquon in it.
Yeah, well, I'm saying for this matchup, they're dog shit.
He also has Kenny Gainwell.
I also have Kenneth Gainwell if he gets back, but I would say,
All right. Just to keep in mind, so running down the list, this week I got myself, Topher, Michael, Vincent, Yi, and David winning. Royce has Jonathan, Topher, Michael as well, Royce, Yi, and James winning. So we have a couple contrarian picks here. David has Jonathan, Topher, Vincent, Yi, and David. So we have matching picks, David. So we might just both be taking shots next week. We are going to be taking shots next week. You know what? Because we're even. David, just a thought. If we
Wait,
get all
wait. I have John over, and you have Chris
oh,
or
never mind. Okay.
yourself.
So we have one difference.
Yeah.
Just keep it on the table. If you go 0-6, that's what, 2
That's
shots.
6 shots.
6 shots, and then if you go 6 for 6, the other person has to take 6 shots as well.
Yeah, the 6 shots. Yeah.
6 of demon. Okay.
Ryan almost went 0 for 6.
Really. So just a heads up if you're a guest here and you gotta take your shot. All right. Any other thoughts? Closing thoughts, David first and Royce?
No, just good luck this week, everyone. Who's gonna be the first one to go 0-3, Michael or Royce? Maybe both of them might go 0-3 too.
Right now we all got Mike Mo winning, so it looks like Royce, but it could be both.
No, if we all got Mike Mo winning, then that means Mike Mo's losing because we suck at predicting, bro. Yeah, but
Royce, any closing thoughts as well?
Nah. I hope all of y'all have a great eat shit rest of the season. Yeah.
All right.
I think we good.
All right. See ya, everyone.